Donald Trump is now threatening to send more and more federal troops into more and more U.S. cities. On Friday, he of course threatened Chicago with a military takeover because he doesn't like what things are going on. He thinks there's too much crime. And of course, he called the mayor of Chicago completely incompetent, doesn't know what they're doing. And then, day after that, he threatened Baltimore and said, Baltimore's got a lot of crime and the leader there is also terrible, so I'm going to have to send in the troops, he said. And of course, in between all that, he also said, in New York City, you're on my list as well. Now, this, of course, is happening because Donald Trump thinks that his military takeover of LA and his military takeover of DC went swimmingly, absolutely perfect. Even though the vast majority of the people that were even arrested by Donald Trump's federal troops in LA have all been already charges dropped against them. They can't get grand juries to indict them because Trump's officials keep lying to the grand jury. And in DC, arrests are actually lower than before the military took over. They're doing less than the average beat cops were doing on a daily basis. And the economy of DC is now struggling because of this. People are afraid to go to the city. People don't want to be there. They don't want to be associated with it. They're afraid to leave their homes. Everything in DC is falling to crap because of this. But Trump says, hey, I'm going to do it elsewhere because I apparently can be a terrorist. And yes, for the record, folks, by the government's own definition of terrorism or terrorist, what Donald Trump is doing right now is an act of domestic terrorism, by the government's own definition. Don't believe me? Here it is. The United States defines terrorism as the unlawful use of force or violence against persons or property to intimidate or coerce a government, the civilian population, or any segment thereof in furtherance of political or social objectives. This definition covers both international terrorism and domestic terrorism. And that is exactly what Donald Trump is doing. He's using force, or at least the threat of force, to get people to bow to his whim. Because none of these actions have anything to do with actual crime statistics. Trump has been lying about that from day one, which at this point most people understand to be the truth. What he's doing instead is going after Democratic-run cities. DC, Democratic mayor that Donald Trump doesn't necessarily get along with. I'm going to punish her, and I'm doing this. LA, Democratic mayor. Baltimore, Democrat. Chicago, Democrat. New York, Democrat. You see the pattern that's developing here? It's not because crime is out of control. If crime were really the focus of this, Donald Trump would be sending those National Guard troops straight into red states. The highest crime rates in the country are all occurring in Republican-led states, folks. The very same states that are sending their National Guard to D.C. have higher crime rates than D.C. So it's not about crime, not even close to being about crime. And there isn't a single Republican-run city or a Democratic-run city in a Republican-led state that is being threatened. These are acts of terrorism. It doesn't matter who does it. If it's the President of the United States, terrorism is terrorism, and that is what we are seeing unfold in the United States today because Donald Trump wants these cities and wants these leaders to bow to his political whims. And what are his political whims? You better cooperate with ICE as part of our mass deportations. That's it. And by the way, we know that because Trump has said that. So he's not hiding his motives. He is very open about them. Even when he's lying about crime, he still will talk about immigration and these are sanctuary cities and they're not doing what I want them to do. Therefore, because of the motive behind it, this is an act of terrorism. Which, for the record, I don't know that that would be covered under presidential immunity for whatever Democrat hopefully takes over after Trump leaves office, but definitely sounds like something worth a shot for prosecuting, right? So just throwing that out there for whoever takes over after Trump, I think you got a good case. But until then, the United States will continue to suffer from these acts of domestic terrorism being committed by the President of the United States himself. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.